What's up, all you beautiful Division agents out there? I am Relentless XRG, and today I bring you yet another Division 2, well, somewhat, yeah, it's a build video of sorts, more or less. If you haven't seen the last video I just put out, this is more or less the continuation of it, just more or less going hand in hand with, if you're going to do it, at least do it right, and not just go in there half-cocked and, you know, strapping this and that on just because someone says it's popular and you saw a 4-minute YouTube video and like, oh, I'm going to go throw a shotgun on it. I'm going to be a god in the dark zone. It don't work out that way. But anyways, if you happen to be new to the channel, then just ground and pound that like and subscribe. And also, if you're just enjoying the content, then also ground and pound that like and subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you know each and every time a stream is uploaded or a video goes live. No, a stream goes live and a video is uploaded. But you kind of get the point. But anyways, enough of my rambling. Let's hop into it. As you can see, yes, it's the infamous Shotty. This one, 272.2k. Oh my goodness. With premeditated. And this is before premeditated, but with premeditated being proc, weapon damage is increased for every shell loaded to a max 35%. If all shells are reloaded, which is in this case just 2, then weapon damage is increased by an additional 50%. And of course, you want Allegro in the secondary. And of course, as a sidearm, I got another double barrel with premeditate on it, and it only hits for 204. But there's a lot of people just rushing into the ODZ, slapping on a double barrel with 2-piece, more or less trying to light to get the 10% shotgun damage and stacking damage on top of damage, more or less, and then trying to run and utilize Unbreakable with it. No, 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 no. This is why you will constantly get bodied by the right people that knows how to just hip fire and give you a dirt nap with the God LMG. I mean, serious people. If you're gonna do it right. And I've even seen build videos with people utilizing Berserk, which is the absolute proper way to get the maximum amount of damage out of any shotgun, AR, or SMG, and in this case, definitely the shotgun. Because the reason being, there's build videos of people running over 300 and something K armor, nearing 400k armor, running Unbreakable, and then they're only having, say, 50 or 60k health. Oh my goodness. How are y'all even getting any subs like that, bruh? I'm probably going to get hate, and they're probably going to dislike this video because more or less I'm nonchalantly calling them out. But use Berserk. And if you're going to use Berserk, at least use it right. And what you want to do. These are just random pieces I just slapped on. None of them is optimized. This came off of my AR build, but you kind of can see how easy it is just to throw random pieces on and then go out there and completely destroy. But let's start with the chest. Berserk. Reason why Berserk. You get plus 10% weapon damage for every 20% max armor depleted. Requires 7 or more offensive Legos. And of course, instead of hardened like I have here, you want vital. And of course, if you get the right Fender's chest piece, then also you can have an offensive mod slot in it to further increase your damage. And as you can see, I don't run shotgun, so I don't have any shotgun offensive mods. But if you do, then by all means, then yours is going to be a lot stronger than just random pieces that I have thrown together. And then on top of that, with the Vital and Berserk, and the reason why you want to stack health over armor is because that is the only way you're going to get the full potential out of any weapon when you accompany it and synergize it with the talent Berserk. Let's just say, for instance, you have 400k armor. Well, in order for you to get 10% weapon damage, 80k of that armor is going to have to be ripped from you just to get a 10% buff. And once all your armor is gone, that is when Berserk is at its full potential. But if you only have 50, 60k health, you're going to get farted on and be sent back to the checkpoint really, really, really quick. And if the players don't get you, then just some rando NPC just strolling by is just going to look at you cross-eyed and send you back into the checkpoint before a player does. So, if you only have 200k armor, 20% of that is 40k. So only 40k armor being depleted from you, ripped away, gives you that same 10% buff. In turn, once all your armor is gone, what is the sole thing that's going to keep you alive? That is your health pool. Because your armor and health can take the same amount of damage. So if you have 200k armor, 200k health, then both can absorb the same amount of damage. The only thing that affects the differences would be the 10% or damage to armor from the True Patriot, or the damage to armor in mods, or the baked in damage of an AR that comes with health damage. So if they're using, say, the likes of an LMG, anything that don't have armor shred or health damage on it, then armor and health takes the exact same amount of punishment. One is not favored over the other. So with that kind of mindset thinking and thinking properly, just as if you're running SMG Berserk just without the clutch, it's the same concept. That's why on even those builds, or anybody that knows how to build, specs health over armor when you use Berserk. That's how you get its max potential. So let's say, for instance, you go against one of those not Berserk, but the unbreakable, let's say, shotguns bots that are out there in the Dark Zone currently. Well, with this method, you're going to one-tap them. Their unbreakable is going to pop. They're going to get that 70%, and then you're going to one-tap them again. So essentially, you're going to two-tap that 360k armored unbreakable, go through his procs and all in 2 taps. And that is 50% from premeditated and an additional 50% from the Berserk. So that's 100%, and I have 272k. So with just that alone, that's almost 600k damage right there. And I don't even have it devastating on this piece, on my gloves. So add another 5% there. I only have a measly 4.5% weapon damage on my backpack. So I'm missing out on at least 7.5% weapon damage there. I only have 8% weapon damage on my gloves, and I'm missing out on 4 there. I'm missing out on a total of 20% weapon damage in my mods, because I don't, like I said, I don't have shotgun damage mods, but they are quite very resilient out there, you know, getting 5% shotgun damage and then an additional 1.5% weapon damage on top of that. So you can get 6.5%. So I have 3, 4, 5 offensive mod slots in these pieces alone. So just with a 6.5% on 5, that's 35% weapon damage total just in mod slots alone. And then you throw in another 10% at least minimum on your chest, 10% on your backpack. We're up to 55. Now let's throw in the 15% base, let's say just 10% on your gloves, and then 5% devastating. Okay, we're at 70% right there, and you can still get higher values than just 10% on your backpack, chest, and gloves. So, if you can stack all that, why would you even want to go the unbreakable method just because you've been using it consistently with LMGs, ARs, SMGs, and everything else under the sun already in the ODZ, so you thought it was going to be a good idea? It was a good idea, but it is a flawed idea because that is not proper. If you want to do it right and you want to be a shotgun bot, at least be a bot in the right way. So utilize Berserk. Stack on as much weapon damage as possible, high in health. You definitely want Vital and on your backpack, Vital on your chest piece, Healer Guard on your holster if you can, because they have 2 defensive Legos that you can have on them, like in this case, 14.5% health, and another 27,049 health. And then get a higher base value, a higher mask. And what I got, I just randomly found this. That's why it's been untouched, and it only has 16,981. But then get one that has 2 defensive attributes on it. Get a percentage health roll with then also a higher health roll than what I have number-wise. And so you can get 250, 260k health and still have over 200k armor. And that is going to be far, far superior than running Unbreakable and a shotgun. Believe me this. And also, Murakami gives you 8% health for having one piece. I mean, you can kind of see where you can just stack health on health and still be 5 times stronger than any Unbreakable build out there because they have to have 11 defensive Legos to have Unbreakable. So they're missing out like 25 to 30% damage on that. And just 10% damage of 272, that's 27k. So you do the math. So if you're going to do it right. Go with Berserk, stack weapon damage, and for God's sake, health over armor when utilizing Berserk. But, you know, for shits and giggles as my secondary, I got a P416 at 24.2k. So if I want to hit you while you're coming in, I'm going to use my P416. When you get up close, I'm going to use my shotty. Fire off 2 rounds right before you get there while I'm in cover. Premeditated, procced. All my armor's gone because I let you hit me as you're coming in, so that way I get the full max potential of Berserk, and you think you're going to rush up and finish me off that I'm possibly healing. No. So I pop up and one tap your Unbreakable sorry bot ass right back to the checkpoint.